Lori Harvey got dragged and humiliated for having the audacity to break Michael B. Jordan's heart. But new evidence shows that people have been a little too quick to drag Lori because Michael B. Jordan actually played her and not the other way around. It's insane to think about, but it looks we probably owe Lori an apology or two. So did Michael B. Jordan really manipulate Lori into dating him? Did he really cheat on her while they were dating? And how on earth did he manage to set her up as the bad guy after the breakup? Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey's relationship has to be one of the most talked about relationships in the past year. And when they broke up, the internet almost lost its mind trying to figure out what really happened between them and who was to blame. Now, at first, Lori got a lot of backlash because some anonymous sources claimed that the reason for the breakup was that Michael B. Jordan proposed to Lori, but she turned him down because she was not ready to get married just yet. Even though Lori got so much hate at the time, it looks like people may just have jumped the gun a little too soon because from what we now know in the months following the breakup, Michael B. Jordan actually played Lori throughout the entire relationship, and it looks like he just may not be the perfect guy that everybody seems to think he is. According to several reports, their relationship was a PR move. We all know that Michael is one of the top black actors in the world and his fan base is mostly made up of black people. But over time, people started noticing that he only ever seemed to date white women and was never linked to a black woman. He was accused of hating black women, and some people even called him anti-black. His choice of partners caused a lot of discontent within his fan base who wanted to see him with a black woman for a change. Because of his dating history, it got so bad that people threatened to boycott his 2018 movie, Black Panther. The solution was for him to date a black woman for just long enough until the fans get off his back, and the woman they agreed on was Lori Harvey. On the other hand, rumors even suggest that Lori was in on it too, because Lori had gotten the reputation of a heartbreaker after a number of failed relationships, so she needed someone steady. Also, dating an A-list actor like Michael B. Jordan would have certainly helped her with fame. Now, from the start, there was something different about Michael B. Jordan's relationship with Lori because it seemed to have a completely different vibe from his previous relationships. Michael B. Jordan is known for being extremely private with his relationships, but as we all know, his relationship with Lori was anything but private. They were always in our faces, sharing videos and trying a little too hard to be the cutest celebrity couple out there. In fact, a few days after they started dating, they were conveniently spotted by paparazzi on a private jet, flying somewhere to spend Thanksgiving together. It was interesting that Michael B. Jordan never really got spotted out often with his ex-girlfriends, but he was somehow always spotted out with Lori. This is another thing that made people believe that he was just trying to fool his black fan base into thinking that he was really in love with a black woman. But he overdid it, and nobody really bought it because it was completely out of character for him. Now, this is where things get really interesting. When Lori and Michael B. Jordan broke up, an anonymous source spoke to People magazine, saying, "Michael and Lori are both completely heartbroken. They still love each other. Michael matured a lot over the course of their relationship and was ready to commit for the long term. He let down his guard with her, opening up emotionally in a romantic relationship for the first time. They had great times together and brought out the best in each other. This is what led people to believe that Lori turned down Michael B. Jordan's marriage proposal and she got dragged. But from what we now know, the source was wrong about that because there is no evidence that Michael B. Jordan proposed to Lori, or that he was even thinking about proposing. In fact, some people believe that Michael B. Jordan might have planted the story himself just to make himself look good and give him an excuse for breaking up with his first black girlfriend, since his previous relationships lasted longer than the 1 year that he was with Lori. But as the case may be, Michael B. Jordan completely took advantage of the situation and managed to work it in his own favor. He played the part of the heartbroken and grieving ex-boyfriend a little too well. He left up pictures of him and Lori on Instagram for weeks after the breakup was announced, and this made him look like the good guy, especially since Lori had taken down their pictures from her Instagram page almost immediately. Michael B. Jordan got even more sympathy when this video of him went viral on social media. The video was taken a few days after the breakup at the Chase Center in San Francisco, and he looked completely heartbroken. Once again, Lori got dragged for breaking the golden boy's heart, but now it looks like people had things the wrong way because it was actually Michael B. Jordan who broke Lori's heart and had, in fact, played her for the entire year that they had been together. When they broke up, Lori's mom, Marjorie Harvey, took to Instagram to shade him, saying, "You sit and poop too long, it stops smelling. So come the out of there." It was strange that Lori's mom was getting involved in her relationship with Michael B. Jordan when she had previously stayed out of her more questionable relationships like the ones she was in with Diddy and Future. That was the first sign that Michael B. Jordan might not be as innocent as we thought. Then things got more suspicious when Lori shaded him on her Instagram stories, saying, "Dump him." Again, this was strange because Lori has never been the type to drag her exes no matter what they did. But then we found out that the reason Lori and her mom were so upset is that they found out that Michael B. Jordan had been playing Lori for over a year because he was still being sneaky with his ex, Ashlyn Castro. Ashlyn is the girl he was with when he was getting dragged for hating black women, so he broke up with her and started dating Lori to prove a point. But it turns out that he never really left Ashlyn and was still very close with her to the point that it made Lori uncomfortable and left their relationship strained. In an interview with Teyana Taylor, Lori hinted at this situation, and even though she didn't mention Michael B. Jordan by name, it was obvious obvious that she was referring to him.
Okay, so what was one of the most important flags, red or green, that you looked for upon meeting someone?
I would say if you're too close to your exes, that's a red flag.
This immediately got people wondering if he had really been messing with his ex while he was still with Lori. Now, Lori, being Lori, did not address the issue further, but Lisa Ray, who is very close friends with Lori's mother Marjorie, more or less gave us a confirmation on her show Cocktails with Queens.
I think that's bullshit that they said that she wasn't ready, because when a woman finds a good one, then that's what you're looking for. I think the established relationship that Michael did have before this one, I think that maybe that social media, that all of that was a lot for him. And I think that he, I heard about his ex, and him was so serious that he may have missed her.
Lisa Ray was obviously trying to respect Lori's privacy by not blatantly admitting that Michael B. Jordan had emotionally cheated on her, but she still managed to expose him without explicitly saying it. And it appears that her family might have suspected this because her dad, Steve Harvey, had gone on an interview on Today with Hoda and Jenna where he was asked what you would say if Michael B. Jordan ever asked for his permission to marry Lori. And this is what Steve said.
Michael had been dating for over a year now. If he were to ask to marry her, would you approve?
I would have to say so far, man.
At the time, Michael B. Jordan and Lori's relationship was still kind of solid, so it was weird that Steve would react this way, especially since he had previously referred to Michael B. Jordan as a great guy.
This guy is such a good guy, man. He is one of the nicest guys, man. I met his father. I've set up with him, we've talked for hours. I just can't find nothing wrong with him.
If this sounds sneaky, that's because it is, and it gets even worse because he then went back to Ashley only a few days after his relationship with Lori ended. It was like he couldn't wait to go back to her and didn't really care about Lori or how she felt about being used. In fact, while he was getting sympathy for being the heartbroken boyfriend who still had pictures of his ex on his Instagram page, he had already gone back to Ashlyn and rekindled their romance. So basically, Michael B. Jordan used Lori to appease his fans and get them off his back. Then he kept messing with his ex while he was dating Lori. Then he played her, dumped her, and left her to get dragged for breaking his heart, all while playing the media for attention. People left all sorts of comments saying things like, sounds like he was cheating with his ex. She found out, he proposed, and she declined. The end. Now he gets to be with who he really wants, with no holds barred or relationship standing in his way. Not to say that this relationship will work out, because it takes a certain type of man to do this in the first place. And I think Lori figured out she's getting played. As a man, I can tell you that men have a habit of solving heartbreak by getting with another girl he knows. Michael B. Jordan playing Lori while trying to make himself look like the good guy just goes to show that you never really know people until you get close to them and figure out who they really are behind the cameras. Turns out that Michael B. Jordan just might not be the perfect guy that we thought he was. But if you think this is messy, just wait until you watch this other video.